The views expressed on this podcast are based on a satirical and at times comical view of the subject matter. So don't get your panties in a wad. Live long and prosper, fuckers. Let's get the show started.
This is an Tempest universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
Hey, Manny here. That's the old tune for the $6 million man. If you used to watch this back in the day, and I feel like him right now. I feel like Steve Austin, not to be confused with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm talking about Steve Austin, the Bionic Man. I've been drinking beer since 3 o'clock. It is 10:01 p.m. Central Standard Time, and wow, no effect. I finally got to the point where I had this like horrible taste in my mouth. So I finally said, I'm going to have to chase this down with some vodka because it's the only thing that's going to clear this up for me. I couldn't take it anymore. For fuck's sake. It was crazy. I've never done that before, by the way. Like, for that amount of time. I'll be honest with you. And it might be because it was Budweiser. No hateration for you guys who are down with the Bud. I get it. But it's just not my style. But, you know, what tricked me was that I looked at this can and I was like, damn, well, wait, let me take it back. I looked at the bottle. I said, what's a beautiful looking bottle? What are you doing there, Bud? You know, I was like, shit, let me get some of that. And it was a fucking can shaped like a damn bottle. It's so fucking I'm so embarrassed for all the beer companies that do this. It's horrific. It's so damn sad. I feel like I'm heartbroken. I really am. I want to say what's up to the guys who are in the live chat. You know them as the Asgardians. We got Greenman, Dre, and Dre again, and then Norm comes in, and I know that out there somewhere there is the one and only GameVit who's probably out on the road. And by the way, Pucky's here now, and Dave from Down Under. Yeah, we got to get Dave in here. I know he hates when I do that accent because it's terrible, and I agree with him. I really do, but still. Someone's got to do it because Dave's not on here talking to us about the topics that matter for us here on the Tempest Universe. As I've been saying for the last 6 weeks, every damn week is going to be about this congressional UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Report, because people are coming from everywhere that you could freaking imagine that has an interest, even a passing interest on UFOs and UAPs. They are there right now at the edge of their seats wondering, what is the government going to say? What is the government going to tell us now that they've been, as they say in the Tempest Universe world, rubber-dicking us about? Because they wouldn't let us know what the true story is. And now all of a sudden, you get a couple of congressmen and women getting together saying, hey, shit's fucked up in our airspace. We've got our military telling us, hey, we're coming across some crazy ass unidentified flying objects. We don't know what they are, but they are running circles around our hardware. Completely around our hardware. And what are we going to do? Can you save us? Can you help us? And, well, somebody by the name of Marco Rubio out of Florida, which I've never liked him, even when I lived in Florida. Marco was just kind of, it's kind of creepy sometimes. I just got to say that. But that might be my take, right? He creeps me out. But Marco Rubio got together with the rest of the Congress folks and decided, hey, we're going to get this report together. We're going to demand it from the Pentagon. We're going to demand it from the branches, the alphabet soup folks, because our military folks are telling us, for fuck's sake, what the hell's going on here? I see Mike has chimed in. He might know about some of these things. I don't know. By the way, I met Mike at the Chit Show on YouTube, who also has a Discord channel. And for you guys on Discord, that's why I've been hanging out with Mike on the Chit Show channel. And it really is about voting. It's a fantastic channel, really funny. And the guys in there are fantastic. Just like the guys in the Tempest Universe Discord. They're crazy as hell as well. We got 4 stories to cover today because life with this report is getting crazy. One of them, fantastic article, only because it's telling us what many of the folks in Congress, what their reactions are to this report. Completely nuts. Their reactions, it varies, right? But again, this is a topic where when people talked about it before, all you picture is that person sitting somewhere in a dark closet with a tinfoil hat. But it's coming to the forefront. It's coming here. And the 23rd is the, how should I say, the one that's going to be the classified report. You know, the top secret one. That goes to Congress on Wednesday. Friday, the public one is revealed. Now, it's going to be a bunch of shit in there. A lot of pork, as they say. Nothing exciting. But I bet you a lot of people got a lot of shit to say about it. But anyway, as we normally do at the podcast, before we get started, we're going to play some music because it kind of pisses people off when I play music. But since Mike made it, and I know Gamevit is out there, this is one for you guys. Because the truth is that these guys know about this, right?
Like you think, strange vibration.
Hey, listen, Mike just said in the live chat that he's down in Central Florida, and the rain's beating down. I've been there so many times out in Tampa, especially during the summer months where the shit just comes out of nowhere, and you never know when you're going to wake up the next morning and all of a sudden your damn patio is out like, 4 blocks away in some other neighbor's yard. A little bit of phlegm in there, and I think really it's not phlegm. I think it's the vodka removing the beer residue, the bud, from my throat. That really is what all that was. UFO report may have a big reveal out of the Times Union, out of Hudson Valley. Actually, I'm assuming it's Hudson, New York. I don't know about any Hudson situations, but for you guys who are like in Tasmania or you're out in Costa Rica. And possibly Antarctica, you're the one person that listens out of Antarctica. I got to know who that is. I got to figure that out. I'm going to give you a little bit of a backtrack here. Right, guys in Costa Rica? Former President Donald Trump, signed a $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief bill. And a part of that bill, they snuck in this UAP report, right? That basically, it said that the alphabet soups, the Pentagon and Department of Defense, all you guys, Navy, FBI, whatever the hell your initials are, that you need to tell us how the hell you're handling this UAP identification nonsense. And this came from Congress. And, of course, leading the charge, like I said earlier, was our person from Florida, that guy, Rubio. And it is very strange because when you read what Rubio says, and when you read what anyone in that particular committee says, the U.S. House Intelligence Committee, they all have this thing, like they're pushing the idea that the culprits when it comes to UFOs, hashtag UAPs, are no one other than Russia and China. Right, Russia and China. I mean, listen, I know China gives us a lot of bad freaking products, filled with fucking lead. But can they really do this type of machinery? Can they do things that do what they do? Fly around F-18 Super Hornets like they're toys, right? Leave our men and women in the armed forces completely baffled. Like, what the hell just happened? We don't know. The report right now out of the New York Times is that this report that's coming out is not going to be a good thing for you guys that believe the opposite. That it's not China, it's not Russia, it's not Cuba, it's not Iran, it's not Iraq, and North Korea. Fuck, North Korea can't even shoot up a goddamn rocket without killing a few people. So it's not of these evildoers. Is basically what we're thinking, but it's not what the report is insinuating. It's insinuating that possibly there is another country that may have advanced so fucking far in advance that everyone in the intelligence community is just dumb as fuck. They have no idea. Like, literally, what are you guys doing? FBI, CIA, and all you guys, like, sleeping on your asses because you literally were stuck watching Pornhub and not paying attention to what's going on in the world. If we're going to assume that this leap in technology that is so far in advance that has us thinking it's from 3 trillion light years away, did you guys slept on this the whole time? How could you not know this? How could you not? It's incredible. You know what the strange thing is that one of the things that Trump signed into law, really made another branch of the military, was Space Force. Since we've been hearing about this report coming out, no one's really said anything about Space Force and what the hell it is that they're doing. Now we know they've got an eye in watching everything that's low orbit and further, because they do report things, especially when it came a few weeks ago to there being junk in the sky and the possibility of some of this destroying some United States equipment out there. But Space Force is not part of this. And, if you look at the conspiracy theories everywhere, there's been a Space Force in play for a very long time. There just happens to be the official signing is what Trump did, but still, it's been around forever. There is an individual out of the MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, which, as you guys know, I am not a fan of whatsoever. But Christopher DePerno, he's the assistant director because, the other director got kicked out because of kiddie porn. But this guy here, he's not into that. Hopefully not. And he's saying, basically, look, I don't share the belief that it's China or Russia. He says it would be a logical thing for the government to claim this is a national security threat and ask for money for satellites, defense, or whatever. But there is a weakness in them saying this could be China or Russia. He continues to say that anyone who has looked at this knows things were flying around before China even had airplanes. They had nothing like this technology back then. There are decades. And if you really expand this, there could be, for fuck's sake, years. Thousands of years, hundreds of years, where this phenomena was being reported and China had no technology. They weren't exporting us ship products. Like, this is a reality of what it is. So how are they going to explain that? Nobody knows. Nobody has a clue. But that report is coming out Wednesday. Is the one that's not going to be redacted with all the fucking black ink so that you could only read every other consonant. And then the one that's redacted is the one we're going to get Friday on. Who knows who's going to release it first? But it's something to look at. The article is linked in the description. It goes into a little more about what the New York Times revealed about, really, whoever this idiot was that actually read the report and decided to leak information now. I mean, come on, really? Keep that shit to yourself, really. But whoever was it that leaked this summary that said it's not aliens, maybe not. Or possibly not. It's more like it. It talks about that in the New York Times, but click on the description, read a little more, and listen, get caught up to this because this is going to be a never-ending story. Fuck it, it already has been, hasn't it? It's just non-freaking stop.
Talking
When you get things like the CNN of news outlets getting to talk to you and print video, news articles, get videos going, have all these presentations about what's going on with this report, you've kind of made it, right? Like the Stephen Greers and all these other people that want to take your money because they know about UFOs. They know what's happening. They've talked to them, for fuck's sake. When these guys, and of course the New York Times, believe it or not, when these guys get together and they start making this a part of their story every week, then that means something. And that basically is what they're saying here. CNN is saying that the government UFO report is actually a result of years of military infighting over whether or not to take these UFOs seriously. On the other side of that, we know that the UFO topic has been taken seriously outside of the public eye. We know this. Project Blue Book and all these other things. We've seen this all the way up to the mid 2000s with ATIP. It's not that they're not taking the topic seriously. It's just that they don't give two fucks about sharing it with you and I, the public. They could care less. So, when it comes to UFOs or UAPs or whatever it is, unless you're filthy rich like Deuce Bigelow, the space gigolo, you will not have any answers. That's the only people they fucking deal with. If you have billions of dollars and you're walking around with a pair of big ones, that's who they're going to talk to. They'll give that fucker all the information because he can pay for it. He can afford to. Everybody else, the common blue-collared person that has an interest in it or knows someone that's an experiencer, they will literally just ignore and tell them, you're crazy. Where's your tinfoil hat? What is it that you're talking about? Because we've never seen stuff like this. That's what this article is about. Is that the fact that the, folks like the Department of Defense, Pentagon, Navy, FBI, CIA, all these guys are basically fighting about what should be serious, should we take it serious, and why it even matters. This congressional report is supposed to bring them together, this committee. And really, it's pretty sad that this is the U.S. House Intelligence Committee that's asking for this, because for fuck's sake, nothing intelligent is happening at the moment. I'm going to be honest. And if it is, it's behind closed doors. What else can you say about that? David Norquist, who set up a task force in 2020 to investigate UFOs, he said everyone who's paid enough attention to it understands they need to take it seriously. Yeah, for fuck's sake, we have been saying this for years. How could you have your citizens report this thing, this situation, this phenomenon for decades upon decades of unknown craft, basically taking their time and flying through your sovereign skies, landing wherever the hell they want, doing whatever they feel like it? Why would you not take that seriously? Like, do they need to actually say on it made in China? Or imported from Mexico? Does it really need to say that before you decide to say, shit, maybe all these people, we need to take them seriously? Like all the Ronnie Dawsons of the world. Maybe they're right. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of these that are just completely misidentified, right? You got the people that see balloons and they'll fight you tooth and nail that's not a goddamn Mylar balloon. Or now that we got drones, people are so totally focused on these things with all the LED lights. They're fucking drones, people. They're drones. But it makes things even harder to identify this. That is absolutely true. David Norquist continued to say that once you get beyond the circle of people who don't feel the need to take it seriously, you get to those who are understandably resistant because of the stigma. The stigma that says, you're crazy as hell. There's no such thing. And that's a problem, right? Because if your own government people, the guys that are supposed to watch you and I and this country from incursion by unknown entities, if they're afraid because someone's going to put a tinfoil hat on them and have them sit, 15 levels down in some bunker, then what are we doing? There are more things out there in the universe than just Russia or China, for fuck's sake. This is what he's saying. That's what the problem is. That they're afraid. Look, investigate whatever the fuck happens. Just do it that way. Stop screwing around. He says that a lot of things have come out of this report. One of the things is that because there is a challenge to what we know by Congress, it's maybe it's more credible for people to come forward. If your congresswoman or your congressman are out there championing the idea that this needs to be discussed and identified, then maybe you'll get rid of the stigma of tinfoil hat. I kind of like it. I think everyone in the Intelligence Committee should wear one. Maybe put a little flag on it. Just represent. That's all I'm saying. The article then continues to talk about how Lou Elizondo, who was the guy running the ATIP program, how he feels that that Congress, well, it's more like the Pentagon and the Department of Defense derailed his career just because he was enthusiastic about what the program was finding. The weird thing is that in the same article, David Norquist says this about Lou Elizondo. You happy-go-lucky Lou's, you guys, you're not going to like this. He says it's not surprising to him that somebody who actually worked on the program, meaning ATIP, came away with that possibility that this could be from another planet, and then become frustrated that others aren't pursuing this in the same vigor as other programs that the Defense Department works on. Mr. Norquist really feels that maybe Lou had a thing for UFOs before he got into this program. Maybe when he saw these things, he became such a champion for the fact that this was alien and not so much from a military adversary, that he just ran with it. Like he just went fucking crazy. Is it possible? I'd be like, I don't know. Like if I went into one of those programs, and a lot of you people listening, I'm thinking, oh yeah, man, there's ETs out there, and then I see this stuff, and then I'm sitting at a table with all these ranked individuals in the Department of Defense and the Pentagon, and they're looking at me like, I don't know what it is. For fuck's sake, of course I'm going to think, oh shit, we've got aliens, right? Because these guys should be in the fucking know. 5-star, 3-star, 4-star. What the fuck are we doing? Somebody get all the weapons out. We're about to shoot some shit down next time we see it. But that's not the way it goes, because I don't even know why. I think we should just arm everyone with some rocket launchers and let's see what happens. But a lot of people don't share that enthusiasm as I do. And probably Lou Elizondo, right? In the background, we have Bugs, the UFO hunter, licking himself to death. I don't understand how he does that. But he actually comes up just to be part of the podcast, and there you go. That's Bugs. CNN has more to this, and also there is a video link to this article, which you might find fascinating regarding the topic and what's coming on, what's happening, and why maybe people just think it's all about, people just being way too enthusiastic and happy about the fact that we can't explain shit.
I'm a selfish kind of person. trust nature and learn to love before I die. I was naked then, I'm naked now, and my nakedness is my sole account. I'm unfaithfulness, I'm a fucking clown, but I tried my best, yes I tried. I don't like shallow conversation, even less when they go deep. In almost every situation, it's hard to tell if I'm for real. I was naked then, I'm naked now, and my nakedness is my sole account. I'm unfaithfulness, I'm a fucking clown, but I tried my best, yes I tried. I tend to be a shitty listener and always force my own beliefs. So come and shine light upon my prison cell and help me quell this rivalry. I was naked then, I'm naked now, and my nakedness is my sole account. I'm unfaithfulness, I'm a fucking clown, but I tried my best, yes I tried. I'm a selfish kind of person with a soul that just won't die, defying laws of Mother Nature. Help me see beyond the line.
Fatality.
You know, funny thing is, since I finally am able to get the data, as far as all the way down to the city, the folks that are listening to the Tempest Universe, and honestly, there are so many more people also still listening to UFO Buster Radio. I appreciate you guys listening right now. It's fantastic to me, because I've been waiting for this for about 3 to 4 years. I've been asking for this data, and it's just amazing to see. And I'm humbled by it in so many ways that there's so many people out there in countries that I would never expect. Fuck, there's even some countries I didn't even know existed, to be honest. This is a good news article, only because, well, maybe not only, but because Ronnie Dawson's in it. This was actually written by Greg Milam at Milam Sky. I don't know what the hell that is, I guess. Oh, Sky News. He actually works for Sky News. So there you go. If you want to reach out to Greg, just look at the description and send him an email too. So Greg apparently was covering the Laughlin, Nevada show, where the UFO Mega Conference, where Ronnie was at last week. And so he has these interviews in there. So he talks about how this place is like a regular old Nevada place. You know, you can turn to the right, you can marry someone in a chapel, and then last week you turn to the left and you can get probed. Catch yourself a little bit of tinfoil godliness from the folks presenting at the UFO Mega Conference, which, you know, from the perspective of what I've heard so far from Ronnie Dawson, it was fucking amazing. It was nuts. He was able to hobnob with a lot of people in this topic, podcasters, experiencers, researchers, whatever. Ronnie was there. And it's going to be some fantastic stories that we're going to hear from him. I promise you that much. But, you know, he says it came at a perfect time because we are here dealing with this report, stupidity and not stupidity, redacted or not redacted. And the truth is that many, many years ago, before To the Stars Academy, Lou, you know, going in like Swiper stopped swiping and, you know, taking these tapes and releasing it, that before all of that, you know, what a stigma was attached to the topic of anyone speaking about it. You know, and I remember, like, back when I started the podcast, way back when, UFO Buster Radio, people just would not talk about it. They were like, they just wouldn't. They pretend that shit like that just didn't happen. But while a lot of people at this conference apparently really believe that Washington does not believe in alien life forms, but that this report actually is helping bring forth a story, because it's not just happening in Washington, it's happening nationwide, it's happening worldwide, that people are talking about. They're talking about this damn report. But we already know the report is going to be shit. But it's opening doors, basically. One of the speakers, Katie Grabowski, figure if I say it like 10 more times, I get it right. Katie, we just go to KG. Hey, KG. KG said this: I think the push for disclosure has been happening for decades, and I think it's gaining momentum. For fuck's sake, if after about 40 years your ass ain't gaining momentum, go to another topic. That's all I got to say on that. But Katie, or KG, she is actually a UFO researcher that gave a talk on high strangeness on a Colorado ranch. And she says, I don't think the government can hide these secrets anymore, and so they're trying to cover their butts a little bit. What is there to hide? I mean, really? This is a blue-collar situation. Folks, we have to accept the fact that no government is ever just going to give up the booty like that. They really aren't. They're going to play hard to get. Even if you show up with the grease, it's not going to go the way you think it is. It is up to you and I to move the story forward. We can't wait for these shitty-ass reports to come out. And that's about it. KG continues to say about 2 years ago, if she told someone that she was a UFO researcher, she felt that they'd give her a funny look. You know, they'd look at her like, oh, God, how do I get out of here? You know? But she says no. Right now, if she tells them that she's into UFOs, they actually ask her more questions. They want to know how she does it. What has she seen? What has she discovered? But that wasn't the case before. So she feels it's a good thing. It's a good thing that this report is happening. I think it's going to piss a lot of people off, but, you know, we are angry. Apparently, our buddy Greg Milam also cornered Ronnie. Ronnie Dawson's in the article. And it says, here's a quote from the actual article when he went up to Ronnie. It says, there is a joy on the face of Ronnie Dawson. Listen, Ronnie Dawson is happy as fuck to be at this conference. I'm going to just tell you that. You only have to know Ronnie to know that he was happening. He was experiencing the time of his life. He was having, that was it. That was right there. That was Ronnie, what he was striving for some time. For people to just listen to him. Listen to his story. Listen to what happened to him. So when he says, Greg here says that there was joy in Ronnie's face. For fuck's sake, yeah. I don't even think it's about probing people. I think Ronnie was just having a damn good time. So, yeah, he was pretty happy. He says that he described to the audience, being Ronnie Dawson, of course, the journey from horror to alien contact in his Texas bedroom. He said he had that home invasion in 2010, paralyzed in his bed while it was happening. Here's a quote from Ronnie. They pulled me out of my consciousness from my sleeping body, apologized for disturbing my rest, and said they needed to have a conversation. This is what Ronnie told him. Milam. Ronnie says he said, that he was asked basically how to open a channel with human beings, channel communication. Ronnie says, fly a big ship around the earth until everybody on the earth can see it. I don't think that's, I don't know. There's a lot of people who are skittish about that, but they're kind of scared. That goes back to the whole thing that we can't handle the truth. Ronnie says that the U.S. government is reacting to the inevitable, and he thinks this is why E.T. is toying with our military men and women and those F-18 Super Hornets and the flotillas. Because they're tired of it. They're tired of being, being held at bay. And they're basically saying either you tell them or we will. Congratulations, Ronnie. You just made an impact. Pollyanna Infante was also there, described herself as a hybrid, another speaker at the UFO mega conference. And she believes that ET wants us to stop destroying our Earth, and they're not going to let us destroy it. I have issues with that. I'll be honest. I'll think. Listen, if I saw a nice little planet, nice and blue, tons of H2O, and really not in too bad a condition, I would let you fuckers blow yourself up. And apparently, maybe Pollyanna has never watched, Aliens 1 through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She's never seen an aggressive alien in all her fucking life. I don't understand that. Like, really? Watch TV, girl. Get a damn rental car. Go to Netflix. Not all aliens are happy-go-lucky. Some of them want to impregnate you with their acid blood. I'm just saying. Just grow up. Anyway, yeah, Green Man, she did say she was a hybrid, and she actually is in regular telepathic communication with alien life forms. That's quite the trick there. I would love for her to come on the show, and we can have that talk with E.T. You really find out what the hell is going on. But, again, the idea that every single alien that may or may not be dealing with our planet, that they are peace, love, joy, and harmony, fuck no. I don't believe that for a second. We cannot be the only sentient beings in the entire universe that like to destroy shit. Come on. There's just no way. Somebody just step back. I don't get it. There's more to the UFO conference, mega conference, to be correct, that if you're interested in, you can look on this particular article by New Sky and check it out. Like I said, Ronnie Dawson's in it, and so are some of the rest of the speakers. Maybe if you read it, you'll connect to ET as well. Who knows? Who knows?
Pink house sitting there wearing take it too far. Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. Like a fish on land. Must be hell, no more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. I was getting lost in the quicksand. Seagrass was all I found. An alternative hell, no more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. But I'm deep, deep down on the bottom of a well. I don't belong, can't you tell? This place must be hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
Surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
This article is pretty good because it has a lot of the a few reactions from other people, congressmen. I don't see any women on here, but one of them kind of sounds like it might be a woman, just from the name. Yeah, that's messed up. Anyway, so the article is from Wavy.com. Lawmakers react to classified UFO briefings regarding the report, which is what I've been looking for, right? Like, you guys want to sit around and talk shit and sell, I don't know, maybe they paid someone, the New York Times, to release information early about the report. Great. First of all, some of these reports are long as fuck. So whoever sat there, went through every single damn page, unredacted, of course, and was able to give a summary. I want to know who that is. I really do. Because, god damn, really. What else were you doing? That was a long time to be on the shitter. I mean, your legs, they probably got cut off because you were on the shitter for that long. I just want people like in Brazil and Mexico, Costa Rica, and all these other places. Iran, Iraq, China. I don't know if the people from China listen, but I know there's folks in Russia that listen. Don't take what I'm saying as a reflection of the government, but just take it as a reflection of what's happening in your own government, because they're doing that shit there too, right? Like some of your lawmakers are going to come out in wheelchairs because they're getting these UFO reports and sitting on the shitter for so long they have no legs. This is the way it is. These reports are too damn long for you to just come up with a damn summary just like that. Just because you want to be the star, can be the one to let the cat out of the bag. So anyway, here it is, right? Andre Carson, he is a Democrat out of Indiana, says we're looking forward to having public hearings at one point. Fuck, could you imagine that? A public hearing on UAPs and UFOs. Holy shit. I guarantee you, they will never have a bigger audience than when that happens. I promise you. Because it's not just going to be the U.S., the citizens going in there and watching this. It's going to be everyone in the world. You heard it. Right now, I'm sharing this with you. If you are in any other country besides the United States, get ready. Because I really do think that it's going to happen. I really do think we're going to have public hearings on this. Carson continues to say, there's some national security concerns that we want to take into consideration. Well, really? I'm going to be honest with you, really? You think this is a national security concern? Of course it is. Of course it is. Don't stop screwing around. The Intelligence Committee Chairman, Representative Adam Schiff, said from out of California, Democrat. Green Man might know him, almost personally, I think. He says it was an interesting briefing. I did learn things that were certainly new to me, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, no. Good. Wait until the report comes out. Stop freaking spoiling it for the rest of the world. What the hell is wrong with you? You probably learn new things. Listen, there isn't anybody that's in Congress right now. Well, except for all the new guys. But you know, the ones with gray hair. That do not know about UFOs and aliens. I feel that, like, if you're up there right now, and let's say you're in your 40s to maybe 60s. Okay, there's some old fuckers up there. There is no way you don't know about aliens, UFOs. You know about these things. Someone in your environment all this time while you were trying to, swindle people on their tax money. Someone has talked to you about UAPs and UFOs, aliens, the freaking cattle being mutilated, and all kind of shit. Conspiracies about space. They've talked to you about it. You know it. So don't lie. Don't lie. This Adam Schiff, he's got to be about 25 for him not to know shit like the rest of the older people do. I'm just saying. So you know a lot of shit. Stop lying. Mike Quigley, Democrat out of Illinois, he says the stigma is gone. Like he just, praise the Lord. Pass the book. Praise the Lord. The stigma is gone. That's what he said. Now, that's a big change in policy as I've witnessed about this issue in my lifetime. See, Quigley knows. Somebody vote for him. He's a guy that I want to vote for. Democrat out of Illinois. You guys in Illinois, I know you're listening. Vote for Quigley. Quigley Down Under. Wasn't that a movie? Dave would know. So the fact that they are taking this sort of thing seriously for the first time, I think, is important. And it is. And it's not that they're taking this publicly, making it important, but it's always been important. It's always been an issue. You and I and Quigley, we had no fucking clue. Until someone leaks reports and shit, right? So someone leaks off that, 10 years ago, they had a project, blow the alien. And then we're like, oh shit, they're really blowing aliens back in the day. I'm just ad-libbing here. But Quigley also said, if I had to predict how people will react to this one word would be disappointing. And we're already fucking disappointed. Thanks whoever released that shit. Peter Welch, Democrat out of Vermont, gave a similar assessment saying, I'm not on the edge of my seat. He's like, summer blockbuster, it will not be. Save your money. But again, how much information did they really release? Okay, we've seen article after article about infighting, about how they explain this, how they classify UAPs and UFOs, and basically how they don't want to share stuff about it. So, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Representative Val Demings out of Florida, another one out of Florida. I wonder if he knows Rubio. Told the Post, oh, here he is. It is a she. Sorry, ma'am. said she felt the briefing was important. You know, it's always about our safety and security. Our national security is number one. Doesn't feel like it. And so is the reality, the area where we really focused this morning. Nobody cares, to be honest. Thanks, Val. Is that short for Valerie? Valerie Demings? I don't know. You think you're cute by just using the first three letters. Yeah, not cute. Sean Patrick Maloney, Democrat out of New York. We take the issue of unexplained aerial phenomena seriously to the extent that we're dealing with the safety and security of our U.S. military personnel or the national security interests of the United States. So we want to know what we're dealing with. End quote. Those are the folks in Congress, some of them, that decided to talk some shit. They want to say some stuff about what's happening in our skies. And it's not just the skies of the United States. It's your sky. It's your piece of the apple pie in which aliens, or can't say aliens because, we don't want to jump the gun on this, that unidentified aerial phenomena or UFOs have been happening. Now, it's funny to me that here's the thing that really fucks me up about this topic. I'll be honest with you. You have reports over the decades or so where you have children involved, where these crafts land, and it's more than one country. These crafts would land while the children are in school, teachers, scientists, mathematicians, all these teaching types. These things, they land by the school. And literally hundreds of fucking children and teachers see this shit. But today, we're talking about a report that says, bruh, probably not aliens. Literally, you're telling me that, 30, 40 years ago, the Russians landed a UFO with little men with big-ass fucking heads. And all these kids, they lied about it. Or they were on some kind of drug that make them hallucinate. They went through psychosis. They couldn't understand what they were seeing, so they said, well, these are fucking aliens. Even though none of them were probably exposed to the film industry here in the United States because of the country they're in. And we're saying they're all fucked up little kids. They need psychiatry for the rest of the fucking years because they're going through some crazy psychosis. This is where this doesn't connect. So when they have these hearings, we need to have a champion to go up there and say, what about this case? What about Australia? What about that case in Australia? Well, the kiddies. What about the kiddies in Africa? Oh, let's talk about that. And so forth and so on. Parents with kids also that see these things, like in the UK. Story way back in the day. Why would the kids lie about this? Why? I can understand you might think the kids are not credible witnesses, but standing on their own, I can see that. But when you take the amazing amount of evidence, the body of evidence that leads up to this report, you got to stop fucking around. The people need to stop fucking around. You need to vote these fuckers out. Let's get someone in there that can give you answers. Because eventually, you don't want it to be an Independence Day where everybody knew they were hiding the answers, and all of a sudden E.T. gets fucking mad because of A, B, and C, and now we lead to F, and we're fucked. This is the end of today's episode. I don't know if I'm going to have one on Wednesday. It is actually, it would have been Big O's birthday. He passed away March 29th of this year, and the 23rd would be his birthday. Initially, I wanted to do like a tribute episode of Big O quotes, but I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. It may not go that way because it just makes me sad, to be honest. So I don't think I would have do that on another episode. So we'll roll with it. We'll see what's happening when these guys talk more about this report, and hopefully we'll get some new UFO sightings to talk about to bring you guys to the forefront of the madness. I got 2 songs that I'm going to play back to back. but this one kind of tells you how I feel about everything.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to redefine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a I don't give a fuck. 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 It's time to start doing the right thing. So trust your instinct, stop listening to others, and own your decisions. People will always tell you what to do, be and how to live. So let's create some space for what matters most to you. You'll be glad you did. Now start claiming your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
One more for the road. That shit is loud as fuck. God dang it.
Yeah, know I'm sturdy like a Millie Rocket. Skin clear, still look young, Andy Miller knockers. Money in my pocket, don't call me a money pocket. Engine get to rocket, it sound like a thunder rocket. Yeah, I still love my baby even when it's toxic. Crazy like she Britney, but no, she don't shade the knock. Russell Wilson way I get low and stay in the pocket. I get paid and do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah, I can't do no time, don't leave that gun around. In my teens, we were acting up and running around. Now we're grown, still get to it if it's necessary. On the ground from January to January. Never met nobody who retired when they were young. So I guess I gotta get it to the cemetery. Getting paid just for rapping is fun. I lit up around a month in every February. Told them side, no electric. It's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told them side, no electric. Yeah. It's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Couple of money in my head just to say they did it. Can't lie, I'm so paranoid and the windows tinted. I own everything around me, you can say it's rented. Not talking phone numbers when I'm talking 7 digits. Earn it by the day, every second minute. Used to pay me none, look, now they pay attention. Everybody say they drip, but I banded it. See them copy all the looks, but I stay switching. Pick up the loot, then hit the bank. Can never change, still wrote the change. Captain say the pay, this ain't the day. They made me wait, I'm breaking chains. Yeah. Told me feeling bubbly out the rose. Took a minute, but I got it out the slow way. Friends turn to foes, haters tell them go away. Rappers make a shiggy dance like a soul train. Told them side, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Yeah. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah, it's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777.
Get down. 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 Get down or I'll put you down. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Hasta la vista, baby.